All right, back on the 4-speed restoration here. We've got all the sheet metal cut off the car that's bad. Of course, we got a lot of prepping and priming, painting to do underneath a lot of these panels, but I had a junk car, so I took the advantage and got rid of all the sheet metal. But I'm over here finessing up the outer wheelhouse and inner wheelhouse. I've never cut an inner wheelhouse out of a Monte Carlo. This is the deepest I've ever been into one of these. We're going to do a left side floor pan and brace. All this here was just straight garbage, silicone, rust, and whatever, but underneath she looks pretty solid. So we're going to avoid having to do a speaker shelf. But just kind of showing you here the way I'm going about it. I was real careful to make sure this wasn't going, you can see this here kind of moves. But I've kind of got the car sitting where a lot of people would say, you know, you need to brace it or whatever, and I could understand that as well. But this is my own car, so we're going to try it and see, you know, if this is the easiest way to do it or not. Again, this is a first. I've never did this on a personal or customer car or inner wheelhouse, but it had a lot of salt damage down on both sides, and it was eat up here in the middle. So I said, well, let's just go ahead and do it. But if you're doing this might be a good informal video to show you how to do this. So it actually welds in over here on this side and here on the package tray drop-off extension. And it welds onto the inside of the window frame and on the inside of the roof brace. Now, the outer wheelhouse also goes on that side, but when I do an outer wheelhouse, I put it and weld it to the outside, which is also no problem with doing that. I haven't had any issue doing that, and obviously it's the easier method to do it. But this car, we're going to have to put both in. And so anyway, I'm going to just kind of go through the steps here, and hopefully this will help someone else out there doing an inner wheelhouse replacement. It also welds to the edge of the rear floorboard. So I've got all that cut out because all that was rusted and crappily patched up. So give you a look here on the inside. Got a lot of metal missing here on this car. So follow me as it comes back together. All right, so I got it clamped on here. It pretty much went right in place. You put the end of the fender well to the bottom of the rocker panel, and then you just come up and you can see it's tucked up in there. This is an AMD. It's a 68 to 72 GM A body. So there's the turn the camera around here. You can see the part number there. For reference, I guess these are the same on all the 68 to 72. Probably, of course, it'd be different on a convertible. Clearance for the roof to come down, but I've got it tacked in place so it's not going to fall off. So that's got that back in the. I'm going to leave these clamps on here, but it's once you get all the old metal out of the way, it's pretty well right in there. So I'll show you the rest of the process. So here is some work being done here more work on the inner wheelhouse. But when you're doing the outer brace, and there's really nothing to attach it to, you kind of just got to do it all at the same time. So I was able to weld the brace here, and then it's still springy on the end, and then clamp it here. And then you see I've already got a spot weld in, but you can see the inner brace, and it's also nicely fitted to the trunk floor. Now that right there, I'm not real happy about the way the trunk is meeting the new panel, so I'm going to take a grinder, get up in there and trim that so it'll kind of meet, and there won't be a big gap right there. That's one advantage to having the body elevated. This car was structurally compromised once I cut all the metal out, so this car is sitting on a rotisserie mounted by the bumper bolts would have been sitting here trying to bend in half. So you would actually have to structurally have the car up on a jig, do this, and then put it on the rotisserie. So rotisserie is not a fix-all for certain panel replacements, just FYI. All right, so kind of wanted to talk a little bit about how I did this again now that I've gotten the floorboard welded in. There's really no right or wrong way to where you stop with the new floor. It's just, the way I look at it is, the rug that's in the trunk, the mat, comes up to like here. So when you seam seal it, it ain't got to be perfect, and then when you open the trunk, it looks fine. Try to keep all your seams hid is what I try to do. But basically, I had to put the brace in at the same time that I put in the trunk floor, because there's nothing to hold that. So once I got that tacked in place, I was then able to put on the trunk drop off, and you have to kind of slit this back to get it to slide up in there. I think I showed that in an earlier video probably a year or so ago, but just kind of want to show you where all the spot welds are at. You know, you got this to hold the trunk rod supports, and then you've got all of this along the trunk floor and the brace, and you've got the main rear floor brace here, and then the speaker shelf extension here, and then that puts in, and just like the factory, the inner wheelhouse. Now, this inner wheelhouse was spot welded along here. So what I'm going to do is wait till I put in my outer wheelhouse, and then that way the drill all through all of this, and it'll tack all in at the same time. So of course here you're just welding it to each other, and then here you're putting it kind of together. But all right, so this is going to conclude this video of doing the wheelhouse replacements. Just wanted to briefly show you this too. As of yesterday evening, I got this piece tacked in place, clamped in place. Of course, it still needs some fitting here and to get it to lay down, but we've got it fitted back there, so I'm real happy with that. That was just a last minute thing yesterday, so I got that in there, and we've got the trunk floor all good and laid down. Got the brace laid down. That's I had to finish that up on both sides, but you can see we got the trunk floor in, and trunk drop off floor, trunk floor brace, and inner wheelhouse is done. This was a huge step to get this done on this car, and hopefully this video will help y'all out if you're doing one of these replacements. The only thing that won't be included of seeing complete is there'll be spot welds down through here that this inner wheelhouse actually welds to the rear floor pan. You can see all this here will have to be pulled together with clamps. Holes will be drilled, and that'll be welded together. And of course, like I said, this here's got to be finished up, but I got that pan laid in place. So we've got new front pans, we've got the rear of the car rust fixed, and just finishing up some stuff. The next thing is going to be to, once I get that done, is to get the car set down on the frame and bolt it down, and then start fitting the quarters. Of course, before I do that, I got to wire brush, wire wheel all this, and I'm going to do some priming, epoxying, like I did that car over there. Just paint, make sure all the inner shell is got some protection. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and if you need any work, reach out. Email contact will be in the video description. And we'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. It's getting, I did want to mention at some point, when I get all the metal work done, quarters, body, doors open, shutting, fenders fitted, this car, I'm going to offer it for a very short time for sale for X amount of money, and then X amount of money to finish it. And I already know what my asking price is going to be at the end. So that's pretty much what the bill's going to be. It's going to be pay this much. You take the ownership, and then if you're watching this video, this is July of 2026. So if you've seen this video several years down the road, this car's probably going to be long gone by then. But there'll be an opportunity to buy the car as is. I've had a few people reach out. I've told them kind of that's what I'm going to do, that the car can be bought the way it is. But it'll just have to be worked out into my schedule. I'm trying to get it far enough along where it's still my car to where I don't have to work on it. I don't have to work on it because it's mine. But if it changes owners and it becomes one of y'all's car out there, wherever you're at, I'll then have to prioritize it to work on it because it's not mine anymore. And it'll have to get into my rotation of cars. So, which for a little while will have to be fit in with cars already on my schedule. And that's going to be something I got to work out. So I'm just going to get it so far along, get all the time-consuming metal work done. That way, when the body work process is ready to be started, the filler work and primer, the potential buyer will have the option to choose your colors, interior, and paint. I have not bought any interior yet, and I have not bought any paint yet. So you'll be able to choose your interior or paint, where you want to go back with a bench seat, we're going to change it to buckets. I've already voiced in the video, if I finish this car, it's going to be Cortez Silver, black full halo vinyl top, bucket seats, no console, with the original numbers matching, 350 engine and 4-speed, adding vintage air. I have already actually bought the vintage air, but if the new buyer chose not to want the vintage air, I can sell the vintage air to my customer here. So no loss there if you choose that direction. But anyway, with that being said, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.